Hey there, Walt here from WaltInPA, and I just finished up a group ride with a couple of friends, guys from the WaltInPA Discord server. It was Trekkie Moto, Scott's Moto Ventures, and Goofy Bastard. It was lots and lots of fun. I had a really good time, and it's always a little sad when the group ride ends. You know, when all that laughter kind of goes silent as we all go on our own ways. But man, I had a blast today. So I initially met up with Trekkie Moto and Scott up at the Reading Pagoda. That was our meeting place. So we met up there. The idea was to take in some of the fall foliage from on top of, you know, Mount Penn. The pagoda overlooks the city of Reading. It's a cool touristy spot. It's usually pretty busy up there. There's a lot of people that go up there to take pictures and walk around and see the sights. And there's a lot of like hiking trails in and around the pagoda. There's also the William Penn, I think it's a memorial fire tower. So there's like additional historical things you can see. But today, since it was relatively cold, I think it was in the high 30s, low 40s when I left the house. So there was only a handful of people there. We were able to park like right in front of the pagoda and get some pictures. It was cool. And then from there we went over to Maple Grove Raceway. If you're familiar with Street Outlaws, they do an MPK race at Maple Grove. It's one of the stops that they do. So if you've never heard of the racetrack, that's kind of the tie-in if you're into cars. It looked like there was some kind of swap meet going on. The track was, or the gates were open. There were a lot of cars parked inside, people kind of milling about, but we just kind of did a lap around the outside and called it a day, and then moved on to our next spot. From there, we were going to head over to Hopewell Lake, which is part of French Creek State Park. But we we passed this sign that said Joanna Furnace, historical site. I've seen this sign a dozen times or more, and I keep telling myself I want to stop in and I want to see this place. It just seems like a cool little local thing. I'm into historical buildings and historical places, so I want to see it. And I thought, well, since we're going to be going right by it anyway, let's stop in, guys, and check it out. So we did. We go inside. The place was empty, and it was quite the oddity. I mean, it looked like a weird kind of mixture of historical buildings, summer camp, and not to sound like negative, but kind of like trailer park-esque vibes. It was just a really weird place. It almost gave me the feeling of like I can envision Ernest P. Worrell working in this camp in a movie. It was just kind of an odd little place. But the buildings were pretty cool. I did walk around a little bit, took a whole bunch of pictures. It was worth the stop. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to go back there. It would kind of be cool to see some of the buildings opened up, but everything was shuttered, and you know, you're just kind of walking the grounds looking at the buildings. So we left there. We shot over to Hopewell Lake to get some pictures of the bikes in front of the lake. It's kind of overcast today. It's not a bright sunny day, so the pictures weren't great. There were a lot of like water lilies over the lake, so didn't look so great, but it was a fun little stop. There's a little one of those free lending libraries. Basically, it's a birdhouse with a glass door on it where you can open it up and people leave books and take books. It's just a free little community thing. So I left some WaltInPA stuff in there, a couple of stickers, a WaltInPA keychain. I even I hit Trekkie Moto up for one of his poker chips, so I put his poker chip in there. So if you're in the area and you're looking for some free stuff, head on over to French Creek State Park at Hopewell Lake. find that little free library, little lending library, and see if there's anything left that's still inside of it. So from there, we had a little bit of time to kill, so we made our way over to Hopewell Furnace, which is a much larger historical site than Joanna Furnace. And we were kind of walking around in there a little bit just to kill time. The furnace itself didn't look nearly as well kept. I think time has kind of beaten up the Hopewell Furnace, but it's just a very big piece of land, and there are a number of buildings, all of which are in excellent shape. It looks really cool. There were park rangers walking around giving out information, like historical, but just telling like historical stories and stuff. It's a pretty cool spot. Definitely want to go back there with the kids, see some of the buildings when they're kind of opened up and they have a little bit more going on. So from there we went to this place called Liberty Union. It is kind of a pub style place with food, and we went there for lunch during the last group ride. Unfortunately, Trekimoto had to leave. He was there long enough to grab a drink, grab himself a Diet Coke, and then he had to go. So he didn't get a chance to eat the food. That group ride was a lot of fun. So he wanted to try the place out. So we wound up going there today for lunch. We met up there. We met up with Goofy Bastard at 1:15 at Liberty Union to have lunch. Shared lots of laughs. Food was great. Service was very good. I was happy with my dining experience at Liberty Union, and would definitely go back if we were in the area looking for a lunch spot. But I'm pretty happy with both of my visits there. From there, we took a little ride with Goofy around Valley Forge, stopped at the chapel at the Valley Forge Park, just got off the bikes, chatted a little bit, and then from there we made our way to like Route 23 and kind of dispersed in Phoenixville, and now I'm on my way home. But I had a fantastic time, and I really enjoyed these group rides. I really wish this season would have been better. It just seemed like every weekend we had rain, and there was just something going on that made riding not so much fun. In the last 3 or 4 years, this is probably the least number of miles I've ridden in a season. Now, to be fair, I was without the MT-09 for 3 months, getting repaired. But even so, I still had the Ninja 400, but there were still, that was definitely, it affected my mileage. I didn't get out and ride as much because I don't like going on long voyages with the Ninja 400. It's more of a bike I enjoy in short stretches, like less than 100 miles, and I really enjoy riding the Ninja 400. If I'm going to be out for hours and hours, I like having, or if it's going to be cold, I like having more room on the MT-09 to get comfortable. So that definitely affected my mileage this season, which it's unfortunate, but I have the bike back. Hopefully it's a mild winter and I can ride into the new year. But I want to get together with the guys at least one more time before it gets too cold. It's just so much fun to do that. I love the social aspect of group riding. You get these guys on comms, and guys like Trekimoto and Goofy Bastard, they go back and forth. They've got their sense of humor it's loads of fun, and it makes the social end of these rides an absolute blast. And it's cool to just kind of get out and see new sights with friends. So definitely want to do at least one more group ride this year, and then I'm promising it here live on YouTube. So I have some accountability here, but I am going to pre-plan some rides for next season, and I'm going to plan them over the winter, long before the riding season starts. This way there are no excuses next year for why we didn't get out as much. This way, if by January 1st I have 4 group rides planned with routes and destinations and time frames, there's just no excuse not to make it happen. What seems to have happened a lot this year is we will say, oh yeah, we should go for a ride here, and then there'll be some very, very loose plans. Nothing will be firm. It'll be too flexible, and it'll shift and move, and before long the ride never happens, and it just feels like wasted opportunity. So definitely need to get on the ball and do better for next year, because group riding is something I enjoy very, very much. Very, very much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, consider joining the free WaltInPA Discord server. It is loads of fun. We talk about bikes, we talk about off-topic stuff. A couple of guys that are really into smoking meat, so there's also a couple of cigar smokers in there. So even if motorcycles aren't your end-all be-all hobby, there's plenty of stuff going on in the off-topic section to keep you entertained as well. And entertained. Yeah, I guess that's the right word. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, definitely consider joining. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Ride safe, and I will catch you in the next one.